Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we'll return with round 6 of season 3 of our F124 My Team career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here at the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Dino Ferrari, otherwise known as the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, otherwise known as Imola. Yes, we return this weekend here to Europe for the first round of the European leg of the season. If you missed out on the last video that went live from Miami, I would highly recommend going back and checking out. Changeable conditions throughout the weekend really did deliver some very, very interesting drama as well. But as we head here to Imola, we've got a 50-point lead at the top of the table. Things have just really fallen into place for us so far this season. 3 wins in the opening 5 Grand Prix. We haven't finished off of the podium yet so far this season, and when you combine that with, it was only a 1-race podium streak, for us even, it was a 3-race podium streak at the end of last campaign as well. I'm feeling pretty good. We haven't finished outside the top 6 since Zandvoort last season as well, so we really do seem to be getting into the swing of things inside this game, and long hopefully may this momentum continue as we head through this season. No other driver has had more than 2 podium finishes so far, so it is absolutely going to be a season where consistency is going to be key. Get yourself subscribed as well. We are super close to 5k subs here on the channel at the moment. There seems to be a bit of a flurry of interest again, so a massive thank you to everybody for their continued support here. I've got big plans for 2025 with this channel as well that I think you guys are going to really enjoy. But anyway, let's head out then onto the track.
Welcome to the circuit named for Ferrari. It is qualifying at a special arena for motorsport. Welcome to Imola.
Well, I say it every time we come back here. I love the Imola circuit. It is so much fun and so rewarding when you get it hooked up. We've had a pretty good run of races as well around this venue. If I remember correctly, we almost took pole in this series back in season 1 here when the track started to dry out right towards the end of qualifying. Maybe we'll be in the fight for pole today, although it certainly is not meant to rain at all this weekend. Sunny skies throughout. And this circuit, to be fair, that's quite a surprise. Often we do see some rain around this venue there as well, a little bit wide through the entry of the Gilles Villeneuve chicane. Of course, this circuit just requires a lot of flow, a lot of precision. You know, a lot of corners kind of lead nicely into the next one. So if you get one wrong, it's likely to have a bit of a chain reaction. Sergio Perez then, our teammate, sets the time of a 1:13.0. How are we going to be looking relative to that split when we come through the end of Sector 2? Don't actually know at the moment. Just got a couple more corners to navigate there. Hulkenberg apparently is my benchmark as Lewis Hamilton just getting in our way a little bit there through the final couple of corners. Slight mistake out of that final turn. We do a 13.3, and that's enough to put us P11. 0.3 of a second. There's 10 cars between us. Well, we know what we've got to try and do then in this final run, but how many times will we see improve from the AI as well there? It's a track that really does ramp up. It is a track that confidence can really help you out as well. Like I said, it's old school. There's not much room for error around this circuit. It also helps when I remember to use my battery down in towards someone there. A little bit ragged though through the exit of the Tamburello chicane. And all that time we found immediately has been lost down into 5th gear through the Gilles Villeneuve chicane though, and then up in towards Tosa. There's definitely time to find on this lap, but will we see others do the same as well? There as we try and put the power down up the hill. Carlos Sainz now onto a 1:12.8. I'm really hoping Checo can try and claim a pole position, but he seems to be stuck in a little bit of traffic on this lap there as we try and open up the run through Acqua Minerale. Will it be Sainz for Ferrari on the pole position here? Verstappen looks like he's had a pretty bad session so far. Lando Norris now swoops to the top of the board. Charles Leclerc goes even quicker onto a 1:12.6. We are 0.4 up at the moment, but unless we nail these final couple of turns, I don't think that's going to be enough to try and take pole away there. Can we ruin Ferrari's party as through the final corner, 0.6 up now? This is going to be so close. It's only P3. That is gutting. You can see just how important it is and how much the track ramps up towards the end of qualifying there. Perez was fastest after his first run. Had he not improved, he would have ended up down in P11. So many cars finding just that little bit more pace coming into qualifying. But it is Charles Leclerc that takes pole by just 1/4 of a second ahead of Oscar Piastri. We will line up P3 ahead of Lando Norris and Fernando Alonso. And once again, Tsunoda fails to even get himself inside the top 10. We hyped up VCarb, and already it kind of feels like that team's starting to fall apart.
Imola, or to give it its full title, the International Autodrome of Enzo and Dino Ferrari. Enzo, one of the most evocative team creators in history. This place is named for their legacy, and it's a beautiful tribute. A lap of Imola, anti-clockwise of course, unlike most Formula One circuits, will take our drivers round 3.1 miles of track. 19 turns, 9 right-handers and 10 left. Drivers will need to be precise at the hairpin turn 7, given the subsequent uphill section. Without a good exit from that corner, they'll lose a lot of time on that. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Mr. Monaco, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Russell, Perez, Gasly, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Joe, Ocon, Verstappen, Albon, Hulkenberg, Hauger, Sargent, Bottas, Teo Porcher, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Well, every time I see Lance Stroll in that Red Bull suit, it just seems so unbelievably cursed. That being said, though, we probably couldn't do much of a worse job than Checo's done in 2024. I'm hoping Perez, though. A lot of you guys are already commenting, saying I should get rid of Checo. I reckon if he doesn't get a podium by the midway stage of the campaign and moves up to the top 7 of the championship, then we will open up the vote and we will potentially swap him out at the midway stage of the campaign. Let me know which driver you would like to see alongside us. Maybe we give like a Fernando Alonso or someone like that a shot in a proper top car inside this series. But yeah, let's do this thing though. Here are the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc lining up on pole for Ferrari. It is 5 red lights and it is lights out and away we go, trying to avoid the wheel spin in the second phase. Speaking of Fernando Alonso, he looks like he's had a good start on the run down towards someone there. Careful as we just bang wheels a little bit. We will try and wedge the car over the curb there as we've actually been forced out onto the curbing by Fernando. So very, very robust move by the Spaniard through those first couple of turns. We then had Lando Norris trying to have a look past us through 4 and turn 5 there. So we've dropped 1 place off the start of this one, but I mean, for Imola, to be honest, this place is always pretty crazy inside the F1 game. That was actually a pretty clean and tidy start to this race as well there. So hopefully, you know, it is a track where I find it does take me a few laps, obviously, with the heavy fuel, everything like that, just to build up a bit of momentum. But yeah, probably one of my strongest circuits on the F1 game. I love Imola. It is so fun, and we need more circuits like this. The only issue I have with it, and this is with IRL, not the game, is obviously it is quite notoriously difficult to overtake. I think if they re-profiled these final 2 corners, maybe made them either a bigger 1 braking zone or something like that, or, you know, made the first part into more of a hairpin that invites you out through the second part, just made this front straight longer, would probably improve the show tenfold. Or maybe it would be too much to suggest, but perhaps the other improvement that could be made to Imola is maybe restore the old layout. Formula 1 cars have come a long way in the 30 years since, obviously, the revised circuit. Is it too crazy to suggest that maybe we could try and go back to the old school Sector 1? Of course, where you just basically eliminate both of those chicanes. Could certainly make Tosa an exciting place to try and go for overtakes as well there. But early on, though, I mean, Leclerc's now lost the lead to Oscar Piastri. We just have not got the pace to match those 3 at the front, unless they really start battling a little bit more. I'm more focused on my mirrors and Lando Norris behind. We just got to try and get back within the 1 second zone, but yeah, I just haven't quite got enough. Well, if by magic then, just as the AI start to battle a little bit more, Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc there already tripping over each other. And it hasn't taken long before myself, Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz I believe Perez and I believe George Russell as well at the back of this little train. But I think, yeah, the big shocker so far has been Verstappen. Obviously seemed like that Red Bull really did come alive last weekend in Miami. But here the paces seems to have gone back to normal. How is our straight line speed relative to Fernando? He's going to try and cover us off. And you just see there, whoa! What on earth is that? Leclerc and Alonso almost come together, both trying to make a move on Oscar Piastri there. We're going to try and switch the Aston Martin through turn 2 as Oscar's going to cover me off. That's going to allow Alonso to go back around the outside there, and an Aston Martin that looks increasingly like a Mercedes with this new patch inside the game. But somehow in all of that, everyone is exactly where they were. We've got a Red Bull breaking down towards the rear. I think that is Lance Stroll. So after taking grid penalties, Stroll is already out of this Grand Prix. Well, as the more and more cars at the front of this train battle with each other, the more and more cars that are joining this train. It's most of the field now. I think genuinely we've got about 15 cars in this gaggle now. As here goes Charles Leclerc again then. Going to try and look for a move on Oscar Piastri. Alonso, he's really trying to give me a squeeze in towards some... What is he doing? Fernando, man, I was literally talking about how we might want to hire you later on this year, and he's already just trying to swing at me in a straight line there down in towards start 1. We make the move happen anyway. We're lucky not to pick up some front wing damage in that one, so do not nudge those sausage curbs. Come on then, Oscar Piastri making his way out the final corner. Will he be able to attack Leclerc? Not before I try and attack him. And Ferrari, they might be in a bit of bother here as we make our way down towards turn 1. Oh, again. Where's Oscar come from? How on earth has he done that? Oscar Piastri sends it around the outside of that first corner there. And, well, he looked like he was going to go from second to third. And somehow the McLaren to the lead of the Grand Prix. The AI is so sketchy. In towards turn 1, they kind of move about. They can defend. They can really try and send it on one another and yourself. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. Obviously, we've got a lot more that we can lose today by, you know, potentially not scoring many points or getting damage. And obviously, you know, I want to keep my podium run alive. I mean, it's just every single lap. It is relentless at the moment. The way everybody's trying to attack with each other there, as this time around we're going to try the right-hand side of the AI. And that seems like a much safer passage in towards the first corner there. Finally, up into the lead of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And let's... I'm not saying it will happen, but let's see if we can just try and run away a little bit. Well, the team want us to dive into the pit lane then at the end of this lap, but I think we're going to try and extend it just a little bit longer. The mediums feel still pretty good. I don't want to go softs to the end of the race. I'm not going to try and go with the alternate strategy. But I'm just, yeah, very, very worried, of course, about getting potentially jumped in the pits and things like that, and maybe ending up with more work to do. So I'm going to give Checo the priority stop, and I think we're going to dive in either end of 16 or end of 17. There we go, Charles Leclerc into the pit lane, Fernando Alonso, Lando Norris. Lots of drivers in then, as myself and Perez will stay out there. So now we've got a bit of a buffer ahead of Oscar Piastri, so he's going to have to really push if he wants to get back in that DRS range. I guess it's kind of irrelevant though, because he'll probably box the end of this lap. We got Oscar Piastri, I'm sure will be peeling in right now, just ahead of Sainz and Perez there. So Checo's seemingly doing a bit better this weekend. But again, as we've seen so many times, it's normally the second half of a race where his pace tends to fall apart. I'm hoping maybe, I think our pit box is right down the far end, isn't it? So Checo might be able to gain a couple of freebies out of this. There's normally a lot less RNG within the AI's pit stops there, and it looks like he's lost out. How on earth has Checo ended up so far down? So it's literally, as I'm saying that, Checo goes and gets screwed over. But Leclerc now suddenly has got a huge lead over anybody else. So Ferrari have weirdly nailed the strategy. Making our way then through the final corner. We are going to peel into the pit lane then. Nice and easy on the way in. Not wanting to take too many risks there, but yeah, instantly this race has gone from what was looking like it could be a 14-car battle at the front of the order to Charles Leclerc suddenly now with a 5-second lead over anybody else there. So will we get out ahead of that train? That's going to be the big question. Good pit stop. That's what we need. It is such a long pit lane here at Imola, but as we make our way back out then, Leclerc's definitely going to get the jump on me as well. So Charles Leclerc, yeah, has got a comfortable lead out in front. Oh, nice and easy. Try and get the power down a bit more sensibly than that. But I've really got no idea how this has all happened. Norris is now up into P3 temporarily. Sainz has now gone past him. But yeah, suddenly this race is all spread out at the front. We've got to try and get temperature into these tyres. And then we've effectively got half a Grand Prix to take the time out of Charles. I tell you what, at the moment, we are really, really pushing, but we are not going quicker than Charles Leclerc. That gap is kind of just stagnated at 3 seconds. And, well, like I said, these hard tyres, usually the hard tyre was where these cars absolutely came alive on this game. We always seem to be quicker than the AI. We are slowly but surely getting quicker and quicker, but so is Charles Leclerc in front. Sainz, Norris, Russell behind us, they've got nothing. They just keep tripping over each other. So it's definitely only a 2-car race, but I just can't do anything. 10 laps to go then. This is going to be a slow burn towards the end of the race. But a bit like Lando Norris and Max Verstappen at the real-life Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, we are still just taking a little bit more time out of him each and every lap. I see us getting to Charles by the end of this race, but we have got to be gentle with these hard tyres, and we've got to hope Leclerc's start to hit the cliff. Well, we know this is going to come down to just trying to make sure we're inside the DRS of Charles right towards the end of the Grand Prix. The gap now under 2 seconds here, but 8 laps left to go. We need to take like a tenth out of him every lap for the next few, and then just try and utilise that DRS. I'm also trying to make sure that we save enough battery. The AI are very, very good at using the attack with a couple of laps to go, and that works out really nicely in Imola, where your best chance to overtake is actually in towards turn 1. They normally run out of battery about halfway round the final lap, so it's really, really important here that you actually try and get the move done nice and early. Either that, or I guess you try and send it somewhere. This might be the lap then that we just get inside that DRS window of Charles Leclerc. There is so important that you try and get the power down off the exit of that corner there, and there is the detection point. I think we've just outdone it. We are inside the 1 second range now of Charles Leclerc there, a little bit wide down through those final couple of corners once again, but now we should be able to gain a bit more free time on Charles as well there. It is really, really critical though that we try and time this move right. Of course, otherwise we might leave ourselves vulnerable to an attack again, or a counter-attack from the Ferrari. That is not the line in towards turn 1. Stay away from the grass, Matt. I really don't want to bottle this race late on. The first half of this race was pretty dramatic with wheel-to-wheel racing, and yet somehow the second half, nothing actually has happened yet, and it's felt 10 times worse. Well, Imola can be a circuit where it feels quite tough to follow as well, especially when these tyres start to fall off towards the end of a Grand Prix there to the outside of Charles Leclerc. Just see, we haven't got any kind of top-end speed though, but round him will go, and into the lead of the GP, just like we saw Verstappen do in the 2023 sprint race here. We are up into P1 once again, but can we hang on to it? Well, I wonder if Charles Leclerc's tyres are just starting to fall off a little bit towards the end of this Grand Prix there. Thought we might be able to try and snoop our way fastest lap, but I don't even know what that is right now. But yeah, you can see Leclerc, I think, still did have the DRS on me out of that final corner, but he's just starting to drop away. Will Ferrari's dreams of a win at home have to wait another day? Well, maybe Leclerc's done the old bait and switch on me. He's just got back inside that range with 1 lap to go here at Imola. Will it be Ferrari, or will it be 212 Motorsport as we try and put the power down out of that final corner? I made a little bit of a hash of it that time round. Will Leclerc be able to attack us in towards turn 1? Here he comes, Charles Leclerc. He's going to have a look to the outside of us in towards that first corner, and again you just see the lack of straight line speed in this car. But has that been just jumping the gun ever slightly too early? It seems crazy to say on the last lap, but will we be able to try and get back with him? We've still got a lot of battery in the car here to try and do something. Ferrari yet to get a win this year. Charles Leclerc yet to get a win on his championship defence, and you can still see we are trying to hound him up towards the top of the hill there, a little bit wide up through the top of the course. But as we make our way down into Acqua Minerale, this could be a really, really good traction zone for us there. And Leclerc, he kicks the back end out. He's going to have to go defensive up and towards the chicane there. We've seen him make mistakes before. Will this be another one as he sits the car nicely over the top of the hill there? Through the chicane we go. You can see Leclerc now is having to try and save the battery. Whoa, we're going to get forced out wide in towards the final couple of corners. Leclerc once more will get the power down. Can we send it through the final corner? We have got a good drive to the outside. Surely not on the run to the line. Leclerc had nothing left.
And that's it then for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And what a sensational victory they've managed to pull off here.
And it's always good to get that momentum on your side, and it's really good for your confidence as well. The more confident you are, the further that can take you.
A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
Well, there we are then, the end of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, and somehow, by a tenth of a second, we took the win ahead of Charles Leclerc there. That honestly was... I was not expecting to get the traction on him out of that final corner, but he just tried to go a bit defensive for whatever reason there and just tripped himself over entirely. Two little mistakes on that last lap, and we have absolutely punished him and Ferrari there to take win number 4 of the campaign. Ferrari do make it a double podium though, ahead of Russell and both McLarens. Ricciardo, a decent drive to get himself up into P7. They're ahead of Perez and both Aston Martins. But what does that do to our championship table? Well, it means we've further extended our lead at the top now to 68 points ahead of Leclerc there. But it's races like today that really, you know, we need Perez to start delivering just a little bit more there. He's still 10th overall in the championship, but yeah, we desperately need him to get some bigger points on the board there. Tsunoda's still in P3 now, just behind Charles Leclerc, so it could be Leclerc that is our big threat this year. We have now a 28-point lead over Ferrari in the constructors' standings as well there. McLaren now get ahead of VCarb as well. I was loving the VCarb storyline early on this season. I really hope they don't completely fall apart inside this game. But thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon when Formula 1 returns ready for the jewel in the crown. We'll be back for the Monaco Grand Prix.